Ever feel like you've played all the good games out there? Think again. There are hidden gems that most gamers have never even heard of. Titles packed with incredible stories, unique gameplay, and unforgettable moments. Let's explore 16 amazing games that deserve way more attention. Number 16. Valkyria Chronicles, 2008. Valkyria Chronicles is a unique blend of turn-based strategy and third-person shooting set in an alternate history version of World War II. Developed by Sega, the game follows the story of Welkin Gunther and Squad 7 as they defend the neutral nation of Gallia from an invading empire. The game's stunning watercolor art style, inspired by hand-drawn anime aesthetics, creates an immersive storybook-like experience. Its Blitz combat system combines tactical map-based planning with real-time unit control, making battles feel dynamic and engaging. Despite its initial niche appeal, the game has gained a cult following, leading to sequels and remasters. One of Valkyria Chronicles' biggest strengths is its deep and emotional storytelling. Each squad member has a distinct personality and backstory, making losses in battle feel personal due to the game's permadeath mechanic. Number 15. Atlas Fallen, 2023. Atlas Fallen is an action RPG developed by Deck 13, known for their work on the Surge series. Set in a vast open world covered in sand, the game revolves around the player character wielding a powerful gauntlet that allows them to manipulate the environment and battle towering creatures. Unlike the studio's previous Souls-like titles, Atlas Fallen focuses on fluid, high-speed combat and traversal, encouraging players to glide across the dunes with ease. The game's world is rich with lore, uncovering the secrets of an ancient civilization ruled by a tyrannical deity. One of the standout features of Atlas Fallen is its combat system, which allows for seamless weapon transformations mid-battle. Players can chain combos, dodge, and counter enemy attacks while using sand-infused abilities to crush foes. The open world is filled with hidden treasures, mysterious ruins, and challenging boss fights, providing plenty of exploration opportunities. Number 14. Blair Witch, 2019. Inspired by the iconic Blair Witch Project film series, Blair Witch is a psychological horror game developed by Bloober Team. Players take on the role of Elex, a former police officer with a troubled past, as he searches for a missing boy in the eerie Black Hills forest. The game uses psychological horror elements, with reality-bending events, disturbing hallucinations, and an overwhelming sense of dread that intensifies as the story progresses. A key mechanic is the player's bond with their canine companion Bullet, who helps track clues and provides emotional support. What sets Blair Witch apart is its masterful use of atmospheric horror rather than relying on cheap jump scares. The forest itself feels alive, shifting and trapping the player in a nightmarish maze of supernatural occurrences. The game also explores Ellis's PTSD, tying his personal struggles into the psychological terror he experiences. Number 13. The Order, 1886, 2015. The Order, 1886 is a cinematic third-person shooter set in an alternate history Victorian London, where an elite order of knights battles supernatural threats. Developed by Ready at Dawn and published by Sony, the game was praised for its breathtaking graphics and immersive world-building. The storyline follows Sir Galahad, a member of the Order, as he unravels a conspiracy involving werewolves, rebels, and secret societies. The game features steampunk-inspired weaponry, blending historical elements with futuristic technology to create a visually striking world. Despite its impressive presentation, The Order, 1886 faced criticism for its short runtime and heavy reliance on cutscenes. However, its strengths lie in its rich storytelling, detailed environments, and fluid combat mechanics. The use of thermite rifles, arc lightning guns, and other creative weapons makes firefights engaging. While the gameplay is linear, it provides a gripping narrative experience that feels like an interactive movie. Number 12. The Surge 2, 2019. Developed by Deck 13, The Surge 2 is a sci-fi action RPG that builds upon the foundation of its predecessor. Set in a dystopian future where humanity struggles against rogue machines and corporate corruption, the game introduces players to Jericho City, a sprawling urban wasteland filled with deadly enemies. Unlike the first game, which had a more industrial setting. The Surge 2 offers greater variety in environments, from ruined city streets to high-tech laboratories. The combat system is heavily inspired by Dark Souls, but incorporates a unique limb-targeting mechanic, allowing players to dismember enemies and acquire their gear. One of the Surge 2's biggest strengths is its deep and rewarding customization system. Players can mix and match armor sets, weapons, and implants to tailor their playstyle. The dynamic combat encourages strategic thinking, as targeting specific enemy limbs can yield valuable upgrades. Boss battles are intense and require precise timing, making every encounter feel satisfying. The game's world-building, enhanced enemy AI, and expanded RPG elements make it a standout title for fans of challenging action RPGs with a sci-fi twist. Number 11. Code Vein, 2019. Code Vein, developed by Bandai Namco, is often described as anime Dark Souls, combining challenging action RPG mechanics with a deep narrative. Set in a post-apocalyptic world overrun by vampire-like beings called revenants, the game follows a customizable protagonist as they uncover the mysteries of their past. The game offers a companion system, allowing players to team up with AI-controlled allies who provide support in battle. Its intricate blood code system allows players to switch combat styles on the fly, offering immense flexibility. One of the game's most appealing aspects is its unique anime-inspired art direction, which sets it apart from traditional Souls-like games. The combat is fluid and fast-paced, with flashy abilities and weapon transformations that make battles exhilarating. The AI companions add an extra layer of strategy, as each has unique skills that can turn the tide of combat. Number 10. Killzone, Shadowfall, 2013, a launch title for the PlayStation 4. Killzone. Shadowfall was developed by Guerrilla Games and served as a showcase for the console's graphical capabilities. Set 30 years after Killzone 3, the game explores a tense Cold War-like conflict between the Helghast and the Vectans, two rival factions forced to coexist on the same planet. Players take on the role of Lucas Kellen, a shadow marshal tasked with maintaining order amid growing tensions. The game introduces a more open-ended approach to missions, allowing for stealth and tactical gameplay, alongside traditional first-person shooting. What sets Killzone, Shadowfall apart is its stunning visuals and varied level design. The game moves away from the darker, war-torn environments of its predecessors and introduces more vibrant, futuristic cityscapes. The addition of the Albuel drone, a multi-purpose robotic companion, enhances gameplay by providing support in combat, hacking terminals, and deploying shields. While it didn't achieve the same long-term popularity as other FPS franchises, Killzone, Shadowfall remains an underrated gem with a compelling single-player campaign and solid multiplayer experience. Number 9. GreedFall, 2019. Developed by Spiders, GreedFall is an action RPG set in a 17th century-inspired fantasy world filled with magic, political intrigue, and colonial themes. Players assume the role of Desarde, a diplomat navigating a newly discovered island, balancing relationships between different factions while uncovering ancient secrets. The game's emphasis on choice-driven storytelling allows players to shape the world through their actions, whether through diplomacy, combat, or deception. One of GreedFall's standout features is its deep role-playing mechanics, reminiscent of classic BioWare RPGs. Players can align with various factions, build relationships with companions, and engage in morally complex decision-making. The world is richly detailed, with lush landscapes, mysterious ruins, and diverse cultures that add to its immersive atmosphere. While combat is straightforward, the ability to customize skills, weapons, and magic abilities keeps encounters engaging. Number 8. Prey, 2017. Arcane Studios' Prey is a first-person immersive sim that blends sci-fi horror with deep, systemic gameplay. Set aboard the Talos Ur space station, players take on the role of Morgan Yu, a scientist trapped in a research facility overrun by shape-shifting alien creatures known as the Typhon. The game's open-ended approach allows players to tackle challenges in multiple ways, whether through combat, stealth, hacking, or creative use of the environment. One of Prey's greatest strengths is its world design. Talos feels like a living, breathing space station, filled with environmental storytelling and hidden secrets. The game's psychological horror elements, combined with unpredictable enemy AI, create a constant sense of tension. The Neuromod system, which lets players gain both human and alien abilities, adds layers of depth to character progression. With its intricate narrative, immersive world, and rewarding gameplay, Prey stands out as one of the most underrated sci-fi games of the decade. Number 7. The Technomancer, 2016. Developed by Spiders, The Technomancer is an action RPG set in a dystopian Mars colony, where corporations and factions battle for control. Players take on the role of Zachariah, a powerful Technomancer, warriors who can manipulate electricity, who is on the run from oppressive authorities. The game features a branching narrative, allowing players to shape the story through their choices, build relationships with companions, and engage in faction conflicts that determine the fate of Mars. One of the game's most notable features is its combat system, which offers 3 distinct fighting styles: Warrior, staff-based combat; Rogue, daggers and guns; and Guardian, shield and mace. Number 6. Enslaved, Odyssey to the West, 2010. Developed by Ninja Theory, Enslaved, Odyssey to the West is a post-apocalyptic action-adventure game inspired by the classic Chinese novel Journey to the West. The game follows Monkey, a rugged warrior, and Trip, a tech-savvy woman who enslaves Monkey using a headband to ensure he helps her reach her home. Set in a lush, overgrown world reclaimed by nature and ruled by robotic enemies, Enslaved delivers a gripping narrative filled with emotional depth and character development. What makes Enslaved stand out is its cinematic storytelling and strong character interactions. The dynamic between Monkey and Trip evolves throughout the game, making their journey compelling. The gameplay combines fluid melee combat, platforming, and puzzle solving, while the vibrant art direction contrasts beautifully with the desolate world. Number 5. Bloody Spell, 2019. Bloody Spell is an indie action RPG developed by Elong Games, often described as a mix of Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice, and Nioh. The game follows Yejin, a warrior who embarks on a quest to save his kidnapped sister while battling demonic forces. It features fast-paced, combo-heavy combat that rewards precision and timing, with a variety of weapons and martial arts-inspired moves. The game's biggest strength is its fluid and dynamic combat system, allowing players to switch between different weapons and skills seamlessly. The dark fantasy world is filled with grotesque enemies, intense boss fights, and atmospheric environments reminiscent of classic hack-and-slash games. With its roguelike elements and deep customization options, Bloody Spell offers a rewarding challenge for fans of stylish action games. Number 4. Bound by Flame, 2014. Developed by Spiders, Bound by Flame is an action RPG that puts players in the role of a mercenary possessed by a demonic entity. Throughout the game, players must decide whether to embrace the demon's power for increased abilities or resist its influence to retain their humanity. The game features a fantasy setting with a dark, war-torn world where humans struggle against an army of undead creatures known as the Ice Lords. One of Bound by Flame's standout features is its morality-based decision system, which affects both the story and gameplay. Depending on the player's choices, their character's appearance and abilities change, offering multiple playstyles. The game's combat system includes a mix of melee, ranged, and magic-based attacks, with an emphasis on dodging and counterattacking. While it may not have the polish of the ARPGs, Bound by Flame offers a compelling mix of player choice, strategic combat, and an engaging dark fantasy world. Number 3. Elex, 2017. Developed by Piranha Bytes, the studio behind the Gothic and Risen series, Elex is an open-world RPG set in a post-apocalyptic world that blends medieval, sci-fi, and fantasy elements. Players take on the role of Jax, a former soldier who must navigate a world divided into factions, each with its own unique beliefs and technology. The game offers deep role-playing mechanics, faction-based choices, and a reputation system that affects character interactions and quests. What makes Elex stand out is its vast and immersive world, filled with unique locations ranging from futuristic cities to medieval fortresses. The game allows players to explore freely using a jetpack, which adds verticality to exploration and combat. The decision-based storytelling encourages multiple playthroughs, as choices impact alliances and the game's ending. Number 2. Blacktail, 2022. Blacktail, developed by The Parasite, is a unique action-adventure game that reimagines Slavic folklore, particularly the legend of Baba Yaga. Players step into the role of Yaga, a young girl accused of witchcraft, who must embrace either a path of light or darkness. The game's morality system plays a key role in shaping Yaga's abilities and how the world reacts to her choices. One of Blacktail's strongest aspects is its stunning art direction, featuring a dreamlike yet eerie atmosphere. The first-person combat relies on archery and alchemical abilities, making encounters feel dynamic and skill-based. The game also incorporates survival elements, requiring players to craft arrows, potions, and other tools to navigate the mysterious, folklore-inspired world. With its engaging story, visually striking world, and unique twist on morality-based gameplay, Blacktail is a hidden treasure for fans of narrative-driven adventures. Number 1. Immortals Fenyx Rising, 2020. Developed by Ubisoft. Immortals. Fenyx Rising is an open-world action-adventure game heavily inspired by Greek mythology. Players control Fenyx, a warrior tasked with rescuing the gods from the monstrous titan, Typhon. The game features a vibrant, stylized world filled with puzzles, exploration, and fast-paced combat reminiscent of The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild. One of Immortals Fenyx Rising's most impressive aspects is its engaging traversal mechanics, including gliding, climbing, and horseback riding. The combat system is fluid, allowing players to chain together aerial attacks, dodge, and use godly abilities. The game's humorous storytelling, narrated by Zeus and Prometheus, adds a lighthearted tone to the grand adventure. While it may not have gained the same level of recognition as other Ubisoft titles, Immortals Fenyx Rising is a fantastic action RPG that deserves more attention. Which of these hidden gems caught your eye? Or do you have a favorite underrated game that we missed? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss out on more awesome game recommendations.